I tried to get most of the juice out, but it must have leaked out of the actual cherries.
He's a long player today.
Welcome back to Less Cash, More Mash. My name's Tom.
Mike.
And today is Sunday Funday. So we decided I want to try an experiment. So I was once told
Science class.
I was once told by somebody that nobody wants to eat boozy fruit. And I beg to differ with that thing. So my idea was, I was curious. I went to go get Evan Williams White Label, but the store didn't have it at the time. So I got the black one instead. So what I decided we wanted to do is we got a variety of different fruits. And my question is, after this sits for like a week, is there more fruit flavor in the whiskey, or is there more whiskey flavor in the fruit? And which one tastes better? And is it better than the actual whiskey to start with? So I went out, I got a decent whiskey. I don't mind it. The best part of it was $22 for 1.75 liter. So in this glass, we have maraschino cherries, which are already the ones that are already marinated, So we always use that as a reference when we drink like Wild Turkey and stuff, where like we taste it. Wonder how much it would be when you overload it like that. I got fresh strawberries, fresh blueberries, fresh, I always call them mandarin orange. They're cuties, the whatever they're called. Fresh raspberries, fresh blackberries. And I sampled every one to make sure they weren't poisonous, and damn, they were good. So what we're doing right here in the beginning part is we're just going to fill up the jar. We're going to let it sit for a week. In a miracle of time, it'll be 1 second for you. It'll be like a week and change for us. We'll tell you the exact time. We're going to come back, and we're going to try these. Those are some really good blueberries, actually. So
we have them. And they are very good.
Yeah, no, they're very good. Well, sometimes you get them, and the blueberries just aren't good.
No, lately, this year has been very good.
This batch. So I figured I would go with a bourbon that I was trying to get the white labeled one, but the store I was in didn't have a 1.75 liter of that. In fact, it didn't even have the little one of that. But they had this one, and it was on sale. So I said, I'm going to get this one because at least I know I like this one in general. And we haven't had it.
And you know what's weird? Well, not even weird. Evan Williams does infuse a lot of fruit into there.
They have a ton of flavors.
So you didn't get peaches. That's like a big one, but whatever. We'll keep it.
We can always do something like this in the future. So if there is something you wanted to see,
we'll see how the raspberries blend. Because I'm thinking this was going to be.
This might be really good or really bad. And that was my whole assessment on it. Like it might taste better or worse, and that's why I figured we'd have a control one. But if there is anything you want to see in the future, leave a comment down below on this one. And I just thought it would be a fun experiment to see on, how much whiskey gets into the fruit.
He was thinking bananas, and I'm like, they're going to be mushy as could be by the time we're done.
I was at the store. I bought everything. We had Granny Smith apples, but I thought they might. I actually thought that they might change. It might be phenomenal, but we only can drink so many out of whack. So I figured unless we do it in session, I said,
3 and 3 or something.
You know what I mean? 4. So, and that's just it.
We could have threw a banana and an apple. But.
We could, and we still can if you want to. So, all right. We'll leave it at that. We'll see you guys in a minute. All right, we are back. So for you, it's been about 1 minute. For us, it's been a week and 1 day. So to try to make it so it's not an overly long day, we're going to jump right into it. Why don't we start on your side? Grab that one. So what I did was right here is these are maraschino cherries, strawberries. These are, I believe, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and orange. So what we figured we'd do, I already have them pre-poured so we could try it and see.
You want 2 or 1?
No, just 1 for now, because I'm going to take this. And we lined them up. We poured a little bit of each one in there. So that's the maraschino cherries right there is what we're
starting. You drink it first or you eat?
I'm going to try the cherry first. I want to see.
It smells like cherry juice.
A generous amount of whiskey actually got into that. Those are really sweet to begin with.
Not overly sweet now.
No, there's a lot of whiskey in it.
I'm thinking that's going to be cherry juice.
There was a lot of whiskey that got in that.
These are pretty tasty.
But if you actually took that and stuck that in a drink, like if you froze them now, that would actually be really good. You use them like ice cubes in a drink. Let me see what.
How would they fare? Did they freeze?
I don't know. We'd have to see. I will say this
looks like cherry juice.
This right here was this. I don't know if you're going to notice the colors on the camera, but I used Evan Williams. This is so red right now. It
smells like cherry juice.
So red right now. It does definitely have that.
With a mild hint
Definitely more liquor in the fruit. I'd say no.
That is actually funny because it was like drinking whiskey when you ate the fruit, and it's like the maraschino cherry juice with a hint of whiskey in the background.
With
this is
That's-
actually really good.
No, it is good.
This part,
But I don't.
it's almost better than eating the cherry.
There's less liquor. Seems like this.
In
It's
this.
It's smooth. Yeah, it's
I'm
smoother.
I'm doing a sip. I want to try. You can do what you want. I want to save them. I want to see which one I like best because
gonna do what you do.
That was part of the experiment. So I'm going to leave that one there. We're going to keep them in
Cherry.
a row. Cherry. So this one is the strawberry.
I guess I gotta figure out how I want to do.
Just stab the strawberry and I'll grab it off the fork or something. That's all. Just grab one.
Patience.
Oh, well,
Patience, lad.
You're the one telling me we got to hurry up, and then you
No.
say you're slowing it. You're moving like my son.
Oh,
This one smells like a strawberry still.
Mm.
Again, a generous amount of whiskey went into the strawberry. It's reminded me of when you did the watermelon.
I was just gonna
with
say the same thing.
Yeah.
With the grain.
with the grain alcohol.
Yeah.
And it was like, you try to eat the watermelon, it was like, nope,
It's-
you're just eating grain
I
alcohol.
don't. And I thought those were gonna get soggy and mushy.
It's
But
still
they're-
nice and crunchy and
No.
preserved. They're actually still
But there's a
really good.
strong flavor in that.
Huge flavor. Like
So you get
Like
a
if
little
you-
hint. Again, this is almost like another whisper.
if you were gonna make a sangria, and you soak them first, and then you throw it all in the wine. You know what I mean?
Into them.
Yeah, like if you were to do it with
Or you just take them and drop them in.
those already. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. But you pre-soak them. Again, this is totally red.
Mm.
But that tastes.
And it's the same. It's like a strawberry with a little after effect of.
It almost brings me to strawberry jam on this one, with a hint of a whiskey.
If there was a little couple seeds floating, you're probably right.
You know what I mean? Like it brings me like the strawberry preserve thing is what I'm getting. Like the
Not quite as sweet. I'm kind of liking it though.
with a hint of whiskey. You know, for
It
anyone
is with a hint of whiskey.
for anyone who just like isn't a huge fan of the whiskey, that really dominated. I mean, I've done this with vodka, but vodka really doesn't have a flavor. I figured the whiskey is barely beating. It's barely fighting through the fruit. This experiment is going totally off the rails compared to what I was thinking.
No, I thought the fruit would absorb more. But I didn't think I'd get that squish of whiskey blast right off the
I
bat.
thought more whiskey. I thought more whiskey would go into fruit than more fruit into my whiskey. But the fruit came out of the fruit and went into the whiskey. Don't get me wrong. There's a large amount of regular whiskey in the fruit, but
Yeah.
like more than I thought.
And stronger.
It's stronger. That's what I mean. It's a strong concentration of it in there. Now the blueberries have a hard skin. I didn't think you would get the penetration.
These are
in
good blueberries too.
They are very good. I'm gonna throw all three of them in my
I'm
face.
with you. Still goes through.
Huge amount. Like it's a concentrated version of whiskey in the fruit.
It almost taints them to it like a plummish.
That's crazy. I wouldn't.
Super tight. Those are really good blueberries.
They are very good blueberries.
But
I would have never guessed that this experiment has gone in a whole direction I didn't think it was going to bring me in. The fruit.
I was leaning towards the fruit being stronger.
I was leaning towards the fruit. I didn't think it would be that concentrated of a whiskey flavor in the fruit.
Because I remember the watermelon.
I just didn't think it would be. Definitely
Of
changes
course, that
the
was
nose.
what 170 or whatever we put in there. But
I once said I don't like flavored whiskey, but I'm really digging all of these flavors.
it's weird because it's the blueberry with a little hint of
They get the whiskey at the end.
Yeah.
It's the best flavored whiskeys I think we've had. You know what I mean? As far
twisted
as
tea might be that. But
no, I'd still go with the
I
Crew
wish
guys.
I wish we could figure out what the proof would be. I mean, it can't be 80.
I don't have a proof on it. Well, then again, as much I don't know. As much alcohol that jumped inside. Which one are you liking the best so far?
Right, I think I'm leaning towards the cherry a little bit. but
Really?
the blueberry,
I
the
think-
blueberry's right
I
there.
think I'm strawberry myself.
Really?
I like the blueberry.
Concentrating on the fruit. Right
Okay, all right. I don't want to sidetrack here.
No, I can be sidetracked.
The cherry is super sweet to me because they're marinated cherries to begin with. You know. Oh, that's an arm. That one has no.
Well, that's probably because it was not as
No, I don't. No. I just all of the grape has left the building on this one.
Listen to it thump. He's ahead of me.
My wife once said, "Nobody wants to eat boozy fruit." I think this is the way you should eat your fruit. It really does suck up that alcohol in there. That's crazy.
It definitely
how
does.
much, like that. It's almost.
In this, it's almost.
I bet these are like
overbearing.
120 proof now. Yeah. If I'm being 100% honest, eating the fruit almost makes them inedible.
Oh,
Like maybe if I did it for a short amount of time, for a week and a day though, it is like highly concentrated whiskey.
yeah. Or eating rotten fruit.
Yeah, right.
Could be that too.
Like the fruit itself isn't as good as the drink that it makes.
Honestly, I think if we put the fruit in while we were drinking, it'd probably be, then you'd kind of get the super twinge because you'd have a sip, chew it.
Oh, we could have. I just wanted.
No,
to
I
see the
wanted to do
difference
it.
between,
No, I
right.
wanted to do it this way. But I mean, that's just a tweak that you could do at home.
It said it would ferment. It would infuse in like 3 to 5 days. So if we would have took it off earlier too, I just went
I
the
think
full week just because.
This would probably be the worst flavor drink to me. And I'm not saying it's bad.
Not in a bad way, but because blackberries are bitter sometimes, and these like when you get a good blackberry, it's like on the bitter side. So I get what you're saying.
Sponge mush, but
Well,
we'll see.
These were really good raspberries, so. And again, you look at the raspberry, and it's funny because they're no longer red, you know, because all the red's out of them. They're like clear. I like the mango one.
I got one too.
And these were some banging raspberries, just for the record.
Bang.
But that one I just ate was the first time you could eat a fruit and you actually, it retained most of its flavor still. It still has a huge concentrate of whiskey in it, but I actually could taste the raspberry still.
I would agree, almost. And surprising, because these are like the softest of the fruits.
It got the hole in the middle, and I figured this would be the worst one. I think it had the least amount of whiskey in it. It still has a generous amount, don't get me wrong. But compared to the other ones that were like a whiskey bump shot, that was like the least one.
I'll agree. And I was surprised with the blueberry, how much that, with the hard crust.
I didn't think the blueberry was going to suck in any, to be honest with you, and it really did. And it let out a lot of flavor, which I didn't think it was going to have a ton of either. Oh, that one's really good. There's so much of that raspberry flavor.
This might have moved to the front.
So much of the raspberry flavor came out and went into the whiskey.
It really did.
I should have preferred this. If you're one of these people that you shouldn't even put ice cubes in your whiskey, because some people are like that, like and then we just offended you by, we're sorry. We've yet to have like hate mail by anybody, but this might be the first one that brings that on. Some people are anti, you don't put anything in your whiskey, like no water, no ice cubes, no nothing, and here we are throwing fruit in it. But I gotta say right now, that's a front runner for me. So much of the flavor came out. I mean, you look at this one.
And the tartness.
Everything about.
I agree. I like that one the best myself.
Everything about the raspberry came out. And actually,
I thought these were going to get mushy too, and they really didn't.
They don't look good because the whiskey color like made them look a little funky. But I can't believe like the difference in color. Like this now turned into a Scotch. You know, when you look at it color wise.
Let's hope not.
Well, it wouldn't be smoky, but.
The orange didn't turn into a Scotch. That's a pretty good shot.
That's what I'm saying. If you now floated these in like a sangria or something, you turn it all up. The fruit, I guess, the answer really, we didn't get an answer. As much whiskey went into this tiny piece of fruit as much fruit went into the whole glass
You
of
almost
whiskey.
wonder, though, like there's not as much of an alcohol.
It's proof you're eating the fruit than it is drinking the
by
stuff. Which
That's
is,
it's almost like
yeah.
you said. It's almost like doing a 100 proof shot. Especially the orange. What, a mandarin?
Yeah, they're little cuties.
That
but
one,
yeah,
that one
That
actually absorbed almost all the flavor.
that actually made a lot. It made a lot of orange flavor in the whiskey too, though. I'm actually
No.
shocked at that. I didn't think it was gonna.
I agree. Which, that might be the one, I almost prefer the juice better than the fruit.
That is.
That's
I do prefer the juice better than the fruit. There was a few of
That's
them on
probably the
here.
worst fruit flavored. Because it doesn't really maintain the orange.
No, it's a whiskey shot, and actually, I agree with you. The blackberry was probably the same thing. It was a whiskey shot. Even the strawberry, what I remember of it, I believe was just like a straight whiskey shot. Like you didn't get, there was no more strawberry flavor.
You know what's weird too? Because when we were looking at these,
Oh, a little bit.
I was thinking these two were going to be my worst.
Yeah, and I think they might be my favorite.
Juice-wise, definitely.
And even actually
Fruit-wise,
fruit-wise, I'm going to go. This one is my favorite.
I agree
I
with
like
that.
the raspberry the best.
I'm almost leaning towards the cherry second, but
This, you may hate it, was a fun little experiment though, because
I'm enjoying it.
It's amazing how a week it just totally changed. They totally changed, and these were all just fresh fruit, other than the maraschino cherries. Now those I like though, as far as you can still taste the maraschino cherry with a huge hit of a whiskey.
you
in it.
get a wicked slap.
But
whiskey
it
taste.
still has that sweet. I actually think I like the fruit. Even
It carries-
it's
carries
a
more.
huge flavor in this too, and I tried to drain it the best I could, but that's very sweet.
The drink is.
That's almost like a liqueur.
It is actually.
You know what I
agree
mean?
with
Like
you 100%.
it brings it like out of the whiskey realm and brings it like it's super smooth. Like that would almost reminds me of like when they do like a grenadine in your drink.
It is almost like a grenadine.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it reminds me of that. All right, if I have to rank it, I'm gonna go regular raspberries. Red raspberries is first.
Drink and probably fruit.
Both. I'm
I
over
did-
nose. I love the strawberry one on the nose.
The raspberry one's really good though.
No, I no. That's why it's number one. Raspberry, it kills, but nose-wise, strawberry is really has a lot of strawberry.
It does.
I'm a big strawberry fan too. These two, I would have
it
never
actually
thought I was
has-
going to say cutie, but between the cutie and the strawberry, I would give that little edge to the strawberry, then the cutie next to me. What is this one? This one is this is the black raspberry. This one's the blueberry. Then, just because it's sweeter, I would go with the maraschino
Blueberry's
cherry.
different with the juice. I like the fruit better in the blueberry, I think, than the juice.
More whiskey got in the blueberry than the blueberry got out into the whiskey.
Well, and the blueberry doesn't have a big nose. Definitely more whiskey got into the berry.
Definitely going black raspberry, which is one of my favorite fruits as last. Blueberry's going to be there. That's my ranking.
I didn't really rank them. I'm just
No. I'm going to say black raspberry, which I thought was going to be one of my favorites, is dead last. And red raspberry, which sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, is dead first. Easily. But the big thing is we wanted to do something different. I can't believe... And,
I like it.
And I didn't answer my own thing, which was, does more whiskey get into the fruit or more fruit get into the whiskey, I think it's pretty close.
I'm going with more whiskey than the fruit.
Went into the fruit.
Especially,
but so much
yeah.
fruit flavor went into every one of these whiskeys.
it's-
I mean, look at the difference in color. I mean, it started at that, and they're red and white.
Definitely serious.
Like
sweetness.
where did this color go? When it's in there, but they didn't turn like totally brown, which is weird.
It is kind of weird.
I mean, this is a solid whiskey. Don't get me wrong. This isn't bad. You know,
I mean,
it's
look
cheap.
at the strawberry. The strawberry nose is crazy too.
It is crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's almost pushing to the front. It's almost, I
Yeah,
almost
it's
like
right
it to the
up there.
best. Like it's right up there with because I like strawberry. So overall, this was a fun little experiment. Leave a comment down below if there's anything you would like to see in the future similar to this. I just had an idea one day, and I was like, "Huh, I wonder."
Or you know, if you try it, let us know.
Yeah, if you've ever done this. Because honestly, if you now froze them and used it as like ice cubes in a drink, now you're talking. You know what I mean? How people float, you know, little blueberries in their beer and stuff. But if you made like a drink of some sort and you float one of these boozy fruit in it. I know I had a friend of mine that used to be a bartender, and he always had infused maraschino cherries, and he would throw them in all the drinks. So they had rum or whiskey, whatever he used to actually do the.
I wonder if you did, like, took that and put it into like an ice cube and then put the water. You'd probably never get the flavor though.
No,
You wouldn't get the flavor.
no, but if you freeze them like that and you just drop them in, they would be cold for an extended period of time.
They would.
And then eventually they would thaw out.
And send.
But
send the flavor.
It's
in.
going to send the flavor into your drink. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to do. You know, that's what people freeze like coffee pods. Like they'll pour coffee into ice cube trays and do that. So when you do
pretty good though.
they're all actually. I'm not going to lie. They are all.
I don't know if I can really rank them. They all have their own, which is their own individual fruit, which is we expected that.
Yeah. As I
But
keep
a
going back,
little
it changes.
twist
Yeah.
of the whiskey in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Not overbearing.
No, it's
Like
in
the
a good
mandarin,
way.
that's pretty old. That's probably the most overbearing one as far as the fruit.
That strawberry's kicking though. I do like that one a lot.
No, well, the blueberry.
That might be tied for my favorite over the raspberry. I like the raspberry, don't get me wrong, but that strawberry has a better nose to me. And I just love the flavor of strawberry.
The black raspberry's got kind of like
It's kind of bitter.
a
Very bitter.
I want to say
aftertaste.
I was gonna say rancid kind of. Yeah,
Yeah.
bitter would be.
You can go in, it's borderline rancid. You know, but blackberries, when you get a really good blackberry, they're bitter like that
I
sometimes
like that.
anyway.
But-
I do too.
But it just
in the
just
whiskey,
doesn't translate to the liquid.
It gives you a
as well.
funk taste. No, I 100%. I do. I agree with you. It brings that bitterness, but in a whiskey, sometimes the bitterness is not what you want. You know what I mean?
Probably
it's
not. Didn't combo.
No, it's not.
You almost need a little more of the sweetness.
I'm actually shocked. I didn't think the mandarin oranges. That was an afterthought.
And
I
nose
threw
wise,
them in
though,
at the end.
it's not a huge orangey nose.
But they're not though, because they're the little.
I know. When you peel them,
they're the
they are.
tangerines.
Yeah, I
like
know.
you
I
know
know.
what I mean? It's the little cuties.
No
like
seeds.
this. No seeds. Peel easy. And are you a bug like me? Do you have to peel them and it has to come off in one peel, or you feel like you violated something? There's like rules. Yeah, it used to be a game of ours. It was probably something passed down so that it would take us longer to eat them. But like, I'm like, if I fail, I feel just mad at myself.
I am too.
Because it's like you should
You
peel
should
it
be able
all
to
in
get,
one.
it's almost like an egg too. I like to do the eggs the same way.
Yeah.
But
Those are harder. You gotta cook
It's-
them. You gotta cook them right too.
and then fresh eggs are harder than like the store-bought egg. So I saved the red raspberry for last because I think
Yeah, I'm a
It's
dog.
kinda my-
I saved the worst one for last. So there you go. We're gonna wrap this up because I'm not sure how long it's gonna be.
The
Leave a
nose is
comment down
really
below if
cranky.
there is anything else you want to see. We have a bunch of things lined up anyways, but I thought this was a fun little experiment. I enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you guys did too. And I mean, just looking at the color of the whiskey, it's crazy how much it changed. So that being said, thanks for watching. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.
I was so excited. I didn't have it. That was actually good.
The black.